This video was sponsored by Peach Figure, and I'm going to tell you more about them as we go further on in the video. Making videos is one of the most awkward things I think I've ever done in my life, and I still, after 2.5 years, struggle to start doing it. So I'm just going to do it like this. My name is your dad, this is Groundeffected, and this video was sponsored by Peach Figures. This originally was the idea that I was going to be painting for this video. This is their amazing Wonder Woman, the wonderful woman that they have made, and it's really awesome. I absolutely love this statue. It is honestly super cool. I'm going to probably paint it at some point. However, they recently made this lady, which is the Psylocke, which is an X-Men lady, and I like X-Men ladies, and so I have printed this thing, and it is already at the point of painting. So we're not even going to faff with anything today, and we're just going to get straight into painting Psylocke. Yes, I do hang things in the most precarious of ways, and no, it doesn't really matter, and yes, you probably could print something to actually stick these things into, but this seems to work pretty fine for me. So if you are wondering, where do you put your parts after you've painted them? Just stick them in the light, or your camera, or whatever you have around your table. Now let's get back into painting this thing, and by back into, I mean let's actually start painting it. The base was in two separate parts, as you can tell by the line that goes through the center, which doesn't bother me because there is another piece of the base which goes on the top and will hide that line. So my main focus was really just the sides, and I got that pretty close to. It's not perfect, but for my time frame, it's perfect enough. It does the thing. I've done many videos on this before, filling gaps and things, so I felt like this video will just skip that. I did the same thing over here, and I filled the gaps in this base. As you can see, it was 3 different parts, and here we are. Everything is done and ready to roll. I've even primed everything on my hangers. And even though I've said it before, I'll say it again, I use Chaos Black Citadel spray paint mainly because I have a shop, and in my shop I sell this thing, and this is very good for me to use only because it's super quick, it's really easy, and it dries like this. It is absolutely perfect. Why is it not focusing? As it turns out, you apparently need light. This is how it dries. It's pretty solid. It literally flattens really well, and it does a job exactly what I need it to do. Sometimes you can use other paints, normal spray paints and things like that, but I find that they tend to be a little bit thick, and if you excuse all the dust from me sanding everything on everything, because that's just what happens in a studio, but basically it doesn't lose any of the details when you have put it over the model, which is for me an important aspect. Even though I've already started this video, I still feel awkward making this. I cannot explain to you how it feels. You pick up the camera and try to make a video about yourself and what you're doing, and then you will see what I mean by the awkwardness. Either way, I'm going to carry on doing this, and hopefully at some point during this day it'll feel like a normal day again, and the video will carry on like it normally does. This is usually the part of the process when I'm painting a model that I need to now decide how in the hell am I going to paint this. And obviously I've got a reference image. I thought originally that these little things on the base were actually going to be purple, just like her powers, but they're not purple, so it's ice or something. So I need to obviously start around there. I've already painted that little base piece. In the picture it's actually grey, I think, or whatever, but mine is black. Actually, Allah, it's black. So cool, I've already done the right thing. But this is when I need to make a decision on how I'm going to go about with my process, and what's going to be the easiest way to achieve that look through painting this with the least amount of effort possible, because I have to have this video done ASAP. So what I have figured that I'm going to do is I'm going to paint all the skin tones. Once I'm done with the skin tones, the highlights from painting the skin tones, I'm going to use across the black as much as possible, and then we're going to use some contrast paints to sort that out, and we'll highlight that later. So I think the main focus is going to be to start on the base, and then we'll get the skin tones on this lady, and then we will go from there. And as we start painting this model, you, much like me, are probably blissfully unaware of the mistake that I've already made up to this point. And realistically, you're about to even watch me make the second mistake that I'm going to make in this video. But before we get to those, let's talk about how I painted the ice. I just used that wonderful, glorious paint from Citadel. which is in fact called Thalasar Blue, and I sprayed that almost over everything. I left a fair amount of clear sticking through. I then took some blue ink and sprayed that into the deepest, darkest crevasses on the base. And now in order to make it actually sort of look like ice, you need to spray it with a clear lacquer. And in my case, this is a very cheap one from the bargain shop down the road. It doesn't have to be perfect. Really, it's a base, so it doesn't actually have to be too perfect, but if you are a stickler for details, then maybe you want a better clear lacquer than the one that I used, because it's not actually that glossy. But don't worry about that, and just carry on painting the next parts, which in my case is going to be the powerful things coming out of her hands. These are just sprayed with a very nice coat of magenta, which is a fluorescent color from Vallejo, and I did the same clear lacquer over the top. Now, we are going to witness me making the second mistake of this video, and I will get back to the first one soon, but you need to see the second mistake before we get to the first mistake. And that mistake is, it's an ice base. What was I thinking, painting sand on it? That is ridiculous. Why would I even do that? Oh my god. We will fix this toward the end of the video, but for now, let's take it all apart and mask up this base, because I really want to protect that sand that I had painted on it, and we need to then move over to sticking the model on it so that I can paint the Zenithal highlights on this model to get the skin tones ready for their next step. And if you don't know what a Zenithal highlight is, it's pretty simple really. It's a black base coat on the model, and you use a white ink, paint, whatever it is, to spray over the top in order to create some sort of a highlight. So whilst I was working on this Zenithal highlight on this model, we've noticed that there is some prep issues, and it's kind of hard to actually show it, but I don't really know where to put this light. But you can see just on her shoulder here, there is definitely a layer line or a shift of some kind where I must have had some, I don't know, probably suction, and I need to fix that. So before we go any further, I need to fix that. Yes, I put my fingerprint in it as well, and that probably needs to be fixed too. So now we have to wait for this to dry. Once it's fully dried, then I can sand back on that and then repair the situation that I've now caused for myself. Annoyingly, this white ink takes quite a while to dry, so kind of have to wait for that to dry, and then once it's dry, I can sand it back very carefully and respray it. But for now, I'm stuck waiting for things to dry. I might just go get some lunch. And after a lovely sandwich which I got from the shop down the road, I came back to dry paint and sanded everything back to smooth again. I sanded off the little put on her leg, which I touched with my finger and made a mark on. I also found a couple of bits that needed to be sanded in the keyholes, and I got rid of all those marks on the hair and went back to Zenithal, highlighting it once again. Now that it is Zenithal highlighted for the second time, we can actually see that we can't see the problem that we had before. Thank goodness for that. And now we can actually start to move on with the model. And I've actually come up with the same skin tone technique, except for with different paints. Normally, I rely heavily on the Fairy Flesh set from Vallejo, the Nocturna series of paints that is always out of stock. And it started to drive me so mad that I decided to try a couple of the other colors from Vallejo and see if I can make up a skin tone set for myself that seems to work, but I can buy individual colors without having to buy an entire set to replace one color. And so here is the start of my new skin tone set that I've started to put together. Don't take this for gospel, because there is a very strong chance that this is going to change again. As you may know, if you have watched any of my videos over the last 2.5 years, I have changed skin tone sets more than I've changed my underpants, and that is true facts. So please, if you decide to use this skin tones and you get upset with me because next week I'm using different ones, it seems like your problem and not a my problem. But getting back to painting the model, you can see I used the exact same technique basically of just layering them over each other. And I also happen to find that Orcish Dermis is a color that you can buy separately, as well, which thank goodness for that, because this is the magic color that for me brings all the skin tones together. I feel like this might be different for everybody, but in my case, Orchiddermis is the one. I could almost paint just one solid skin tone color and use Orchiddermis to give it some shape, and it would be almost good enough. But the layers of skin tones, it really sets the skin apart from the rest of the model. And now for the highest of the highlights, I'm going to actually use this one from the Nocturna set, just because I have it available. It's on my table, it's near me. I used it, but don't worry, never fear, you can use probably Dectan for this exact same situation. And in order to make some variations on the skin, as well as add a little bit more shadow into the darkest parts, I'm going to use Reichland Flesh Shade, and I'm going to speckle that on the skin, and after that I'm going to spray it with a satin varnish, which is from Vallejo, and in my opinion did not dry satin enough. But I'm not going to be sad about that, and I'm just going to carry on painting this model. I'm going to use Leviathan Purple over all the suit parts. If you remember in the beginning of the video, I explained that I was going to use some of the skin tones to give me a highlight, so that when I put the contrast paint over this later on, it's almost like it's giving me free shading. However, the shading is definitely not strong enough for my liking, and so I'm going to have to come back in with the highlights over the top of this, probably using my airbrush. But before that, I'm going to use another contrast paint, and I'm going to paint that over her belt. While you weren't watching, I also used my airbrush to spray the long piece that hangs off of her belt in the background. And while we're in the subject of base coating everything, I'm just going to use this black from Citadel to just literally paint her hair black, because she has black hair, I think. It's not really black, but I'm going to highlight that too later on. I then glued the little sash thing that's on her belt onto her, so that, I don't know why I did this actually. It was going to need to be glued anyway, and I glued it on now. It might have been the wrong time to do this, but it seemed to work out and I didn't break anything, so happy days. For the highlights on her suit, I just mixed up a very light violet kind of color, and I sprayed that very carefully with a low air pressure through my airbrush over the highlight spots on the model. I also used some of that on her hair as well, and I came back into the hair with a blue wash from Citadel just to make it not look as purple as the rest of her suit. I then gave her some eyebrows, because her face is no good without caterpillars across the top of your eyes. And after I'd done that, I painted a little bit of pink into her eyes. My patrons will know that I have recently been experimenting a little bit more with different types of skin tones and different ways of painting face portraits and all that kind of stuff. And so I started with pink. I've done this in the magic video, and I decided that I will try that again in this video too, and it does seem to work really well. Instead of just using a plain black underneath the eye, I decided that this was going to be the way to go. And as you can see, with the sclera painted very nicely, we have some eyes that are now worthy of putting some pupils, and the rest of the eye, which is the iris, and all the other fancy special words that you use to describe an eyeball. Once I had figured out that they were looking to the left, this was really easy. I just shoved some circular purple spots in the corners, and I added a black spot to represent the pupil and a little bit of a highlight. Once this was done, I put the model back together again, and I took off the powers from her hands, and I sprayed some fluorescent magenta on her hands, a little bit on the side of her leg, some on her face, and in other areas where I felt like the light that would obviously be emitting from these powers would probably be hitting the model as well. Now it is time to deal with that problem that I had in the beginning of the video, where I decided that snow was actually sand. And in order to fix it, I used this Scenic Snow Kit. Full disclaimer here, I have never used snow effects in my life ever before. And I'm pretty sure I did this all wrong, but I basically mixed it all together to make some kind of a snow paste. And then pretty much picked that up very carefully and smudged it all over the base. This did work really well. This stuff actually is really, really cool. The problem I had is that as a schmuck, I painted freaking sand before this, and all that did was, where it was clear on the edges, which would have looked like very nice ice, it just ended up looking like dirty sand on this. It was, honestly, don't paint sand first. If you stopped halfway through this video to paint your base with sand, I'm sorry that you are now watching this, and that's where I called the model done. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and please go check out the sponsors of this video, Peach Figure. There is going to be a link in the description. Please go check them out and look at the other work they've done. Perhaps consider supporting them. And speaking of support, thank you to my patrons for supporting me through my existential crisis in life. And if you would like to support me as well, check out the link in description. Thanks for watching my great video. If you didn't like anything that you saw in this video, it's tough. And it's now time for you to f*** off.